Hello, today I will be discussing Chapter 5 for Professional Development and its Ethics, Politics, and Diversity. Ethics, Politics, and Diversity at Work. Business is based on competition, which sometimes clouds an individual's judgment. Therefore, employees need to recognize how personal values and morals affect ethical behavior at work. Power and politics are used in workplace relationships. Personal ethics govern the outcome of how you deal with power and politics. Ethics defined. Ethics is a moral standard of right or wrong. Ethical behavior is influenced and a reflection of friends, family, co-workers, religion, and society. For example, if you associate with people who shoplift, you most likely will not view shoplifting as an unethical act. As a result, you may shoplift without remorse. Morals are a personal standard of right and wrong. An individual's values are important beliefs that guide his or her behavior. Character is defined as the unique qualities of an individual and is usually a reflection of personal morals and values. Values, conflicts, and confidentiality. Each company has a corporate culture. A corporate culture is the way a company's employees behave. It is based on the behavior of its leaders. For example, if all the employees and executives within the company are very laid back and informal, the employees throughout the company will most likely be laid back and informal. Many companies promote ethical behaviors through an ethics statement. This is a formal corporate policy that addresses the issues of ethical behavior and punishment should someone behave inappropriately. As corporate America recovers from its scandals, more companies are placing greater importance on ethics statements. Included in most corporate ethic policies is a statement addressing conflicts of interest. A conflict of interest occurs when you are in a position to influence a decision from which you could benefit directly or indirectly. If there is ever a possibility that someone can accuse you of conflict of interest, excuse yourself from the decision-making process. Certain work-related information and issues are confidential, meaning they are private. These matters may include client records, employee information, business reports, documentation, and files. Implied confidentiality is when an employee has an obligation to not share information with individuals for whom the business is of no concern. Regardless of whether you have been explicitly told to keep the work-related information confidential, practice implied confidentiality. Sometimes you may be tempted or even asked to share confidential information. Do not fall into this trap. If you are uncertain about sharing confidential information with someone, check with your boss. Doing so will demonstrate to your boss that you want to not only maintain the privacy of your department, but also behave in a professional manner. Making ethical choices. At work, you'll be faced with ethical decisions, including the appropriate use of workplace power and politics. Consistently practicing ethical behavior at work is not always easy. As you attempt to make ethical choices, use the 3 levels of ethical decisions. The 3 levels of ethical decisions are 3 questions to help you make an ethical decision. Each level contains a question that, if answered no, deems the decision unethical. The first level question: is the action legal? When confronted with an ethical issue, first ask, is the action legal? If the answer is no, the action is illegal. Therefore, the action is unethical. Second level: is the action fair to all involved? If the answer is no, the behavior should not be fair to all parties and should not be practiced. Third level: does the behavior make you feel good? It is understandable that not everybody will agree on what is right and fair. This is when ethical decisions get personal because your conscience becomes a consideration. When people knowingly behave inappropriately, most will eventually feel bad about their poor behavior. Some people take a bit longer than others to feel bad, but everyone at some point feels bad when they have wronged another. Sometimes a behavior may be legal, and it may be fair to others, but it still may make an individual feel guilty or bad. Workplace power. Power is one's ability to influence another's behavior. Whether you recognize it or not, everyone at work has and uses some form of power. Successful employees understand this ability to influence others' behavior and use it appropriately. Legitimate power is the power that is given to you by the company. It includes your title and any other formal authority that comes with your position at work. For example, a manager has legitimate power to assign schedules for employees to his or her department. Coercive power is also power that is derived from your formal position. However, coercive power is negative and uses threats and punishments. An example is if your manager threatens to cut your hours. In contrast is reward power. Reward power is the ability to influence others with something of value. Connection power is based on using someone else's legitimate power. Consider the department assistant who arranges meetings based on his or her boss's power. Charismatic power is a form of personal power that makes people attracted to you. Most of us know someone who walks into a room and immediately attracts other people's attention. This is because the individual with charismatic power shows a sincere interest in others. Information power is based on an individual's ability to obtain and share information. Doing so makes you more valuable to those whom you interact with. For example, a coworker who is a part of the committee routinely shares information from the committee meetings. Expert power is power that is earned by one's knowledge, experience, and expertise. Consider the company's computer repair technician or the company's organization chart. He or she may not be very high in the formal command chain. However, this individual wields a lot of power because of his or her computer expertise. Increasing your power bases. Reward power can and should be used daily. Whenever possible, dispense a sincere word or note of appreciation to a coworker who has assisted you or has performed exceptionally well. Doing so will develop and enhance relationships not only within your department but also outside of your department. Be sincere. Increase your connection by strengthening your network. Whenever possible, without overcommitting, join committees, attend meetings, and actively share information. Increase your expert power by practicing continual learning. Read books and business-related articles. Scan reputable and applicable internet sites. Attend workshops and conferences. And learn new technology when possible. Whenever you learn something new that can assist others at work, share this information. Coworkers will see you as the expert in this area. Workplace politics and reciprocity. Politics is obtaining and using power. People generally get bad taste of this in their mouth when someone accuses them of being political, but this is not necessarily a bad thing. Reciprocity is when debts and obligations are created for doing something. Suppose you are on a time crunch and you must complete a report in 2 hours. You ask a coworker to help you. The coworker stops what they are doing and assists you with your work. Unfortunately, sometimes the phrase "you owe me one," "you owe me" is used by a coworker who may try to encroach on your ability to behave ethically. When others are not ethical. If management tolerates behavior, you must accept the management's decision. However, if you are still bothered by the behavior and feel it is inappropriate, determine if you want to continue working for the organization. Common ethical issues. Another common ethical issue at work that occurs at work in a company is company theft. Company theft is not always large items such as laptops or other equipment. More often, it is smaller items such as office supplies. You may not realize that taking a pen or pencil home is also stealing from your company. Work supplies should be only used for work purposes. Using the following activities should not be conducted during work hours. Using the internet for personal business such as social networking or shopping, taking or making personal calls or texts, exceeding allotted break and lunch periods, playing computer games, using company supplies and equipment for non-business purposes. Diversity basics. Workplace diversity refers to differences among coworkers. These differences include age, gender, economic status, physical makeup, intelligence, religion, sexual orientation, among other things. No matter how we differ, everyone should be treated fairly, with respect, and with professionalism. Diversity should be viewed as an asset that utilizes our differences as a means to create, innovate, and compete as an organization. Individual differences related to diversity should only be an issue when the diversity negatively affects performance. Legal protection from discrimination. There are protected members in the protected class that are protected from workplace discrimination. Race is defined as people who have certain physical traits. Culture is defined as different patterns of these peoples. Ethnocentric is when you think your individual culture is superior to other cultures. So, to sum up Chapter 5, a few key summaries are: personal ethical behavior is a reflection of how a person is, and workplace diversity should be an issue only when the diversity negatively affects performance. And no matter what our differences, treat everyone with respect and professionalism. Be cautious to not use power and reciprocity in an unethical manner. Thank you for taking your time to listen to my Chapter 5 presentation. I hope that you were able to get a lot of information, and also will have a PowerPoint for you to be able to view some of the definitions and some of the information I discussed. Thank you.